You've told us a little bit about yourself and what you're currently going through and what has brought you to this point. Do you think you can backtrack a little bit and tell us what started your interest in the art world and what would you define your styles of art as?
Um, I would define my style of art as like surrealist, abstract, figurative work. I'm trying to build these environments that are based on reality, but are, kind of in this realm of fantasy, if that makes sense. So I think my artwork is more so defined with surrealism nowadays. What created my interest in the art world was uh, I've always loved making art. So it was just like naturally I was interested in that world, but my introduction came through street art. I used to read this magazine, which it's not discontinued, but it only runs like biannually now, called Juxtapose magazine. So I used to read those obsessively in high school. So that's what really started my love for it. It wasn't really fine art based, like I wasn't really studying Renaissance based artists or anything like that. I was just really into people who, did work illegally or did really large scale, like really out there mural work. So that was my introduction into that whole art world sphere.
I see. I see. Would you say that there were any other styles of art or expression that influenced you in your earlier stages? So, whether it was acting or was it certain styles or genres of different artwork that weren't surrealism?
I I wanted to be a comedian, like very when I was really young, because I just really like making people laugh to this day. Just like I think it's like that middle child syndrome where you just like want people to be happy around you at all times. So I've always wanted to like, or when I was a kid, I wanted to be a comedian and like wanted to do acting for a bit, but I'm too shy. So I never even took drama because I was so socially awkward and shy. Um, but I think I've always been interested in music, um, as someone who consumes it, but also someone who has attempted to make music. A couple years ago, I tried to rap under a pseudonym. I will not, you know, expose what that was, but it was just like a time in my life where I felt like that was the only way to get out certain emotions, not in a serious level. Like it was all jokes, it was all for fun, but it really helped me, like, I don't know, get through things. Um, and I'm really inspired by film and animation as well. Like I love anime. A few years back, I watched Akira. It changed my life. I named my cat Tetsuo. Like I was in it.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's like that movie in particular really changed the way I saw um, art as well. Like the backdrops in that film are so beautiful, and those action sequences as well. Like when Tetsuo is expanding into that uh, disgusting figure, like those scenes to me like were super inspiring for me. So yeah, it's like a mix of everything. Like I'm really inspired by pop culture, like more so than the history of art. Like I'm inspired by pop culture and kind of these like subculture movements more so.
I will say I also love anime. I grew up with anime. To me,
Mhm.
it was like I think that was like my first discernible style of like animation that I knew about because like my uncle was very much into it, and I saw Akira when I was young. Probably not a good movie to see when you're like 4 or 5, but
No.
I understand exactly what you mean. Like anime has inspired me in a lot of the things that I do as well. And it's also interesting to hear you say that you were expressing yourself under a pseudonym for music. I love the fact that music is so accessible. Like you can go and buy an interface and a mic from anywhere and you can just put your music up online and
Hmm.
it's good because I do remember a time when it was hard for anyone to really get into music, and you had to go to a studio, and there was a lot of gatekeeping involved with you just putting out your demo. But now there are people who are releasing like award worthy music, or even just music to help express themselves and just to get themselves through a tough time. And it's great to hear that you as an artist, you're able to find different avenues and ways to express yourself when you can't find yourself able to do it through your regular medium.
Yeah, I was discussing this recently too. Like, I recognize that little M box because my partner was looking for one for the longest time. He's like, I need to find an M box so I can record at home, da da da. And like the quality that you get from these pieces of machinery that you can get on Amazon or what have you is so amazing. And if you get plugins as well that you're using on your interface, like you can make some really quality stuff at home, which has revolutionized art, the way we see it and the way we've like been able to disperse it. And I've been finding a lot of musicians who are established, who do have record labels, etc., releasing their own like beat tapes or small like EPs for the internet during this time, like quarantine jams or what have you, and releasing a lot of video as well. Like, I've been loving seeing the back hand to it, if that makes sense, like the what goes behind the scenes into making these either EPs or artworks, what have you. Like, I think it has shown the versatility in the arts and how like you can do things from your bedroom essentially.
And I love it. I want more of it. I can't wait for all of this lockdown stuff to end because I want to see the performance side of it as well.
Yes.
I cannot wait. Like, not only do I miss shows, I'm sure, we all miss shows and going out and interacting with humans, but I can't wait to see these new artists who were probably working in finance before or marketing or jobs that maybe they weren't truly content with, but now that they have found the means to express themselves, that they'll be able to bring it to others and share their story and share their craft.
Yeah, exactly. And I've been seeing like very accessible websites that were created for the everyday person to learn a new skill, like Skillshare. If only you were sponsored by Skillshare, this would be the time to plug it. But it's been it's been a great opportunity for people who didn't really explore that avenue in life to just do it like right now, and they're discovering like, oh, I'm like a pretty good beat maker, or oh, I'm a pretty good painter. And that's something they wouldn't have done regardless because they were always outside trying to, run errands or go to work and stuff. I think that's like a beautiful thing that's come out of it. And I'm also like really excited to see like live shows after all of this, because a lot of musicians and artists who have just been cooking up so much in this time, like when it's time to perform and when it's time for the shows to be up, like it's going to be insane. It's going to be lovely.
I can't wait for it, especially in a city like ours. It's going to be so vibrant. It really is going to be the roaring 20s, as everyone says.
Yeah.